Okay, let's continue with a discussion on messy data. What is messy data? In a nutshell, it is data that is not in the usable form, or it is impossible to obtain clearly interpretable information from it. Well, why is it important? Data are inherently messy. Dirty data are everywhere. And in fact, it is very rare to find good, clean data sets in real life. For example, these four Harvard cases were not the only ones I checked. However, when I imported the Big Basket Excel file, I thought this could be a great example for data cleanup despite it's from a reputable source. I've seen much worse examples in real life, where an employee creates a database where the highlight is used as an attribute. What can you do about keeping your data clean or as clean as possible? If you ever collect, retain, or enter data, you, as a user, have the responsibility to do it correctly. To begin, create a proper table where each variable forms a column, each observation forms a row, and each observational unit, also known as entity, forms a table. Let me try to be more specific. There are no clear-cut rules or strict regulations for data cleaning, but there are generally accepted principles of clean data. Clean data starts with being consistent. You should use proper formatting, especially with dates. Don't leave any cell empty. Create a data dictionary. Do not include calculations in the raw data file. And I cannot stress this more. Do not use font color or highlighting as a variable. Choose good variable names. This means avoiding spaces or special characters. And finally, save the data in plain text files. Microsoft Excel is a great tool for a daily user, but it can be your biggest enemy as a data analyst or a programmer. Let's move to RStudio. Okay, now we will practice hands-on to get our hands dirty with messy data. Please note that I will also post this source file on Canvas. Before we start having fun with RStudio, let's make sure the libraries are loaded and our working directory is set right. Oh, it's right. A little environmental cleanup is always a nice practice. And there we go. After all this whole housekeeping, let's start with a simple text string, which is not in an ideal form. Anyone who took a programming course probably remembers the text string hello world. Let's type it and assign it to a parameter named HW. Oh. And we will assign it to a parameter named HW. However, this time I added a few extra spaces here and there. Here is HW, and you can also see it at the global environment here. We can get rid of the white space at the start and the end of this text using the string trim function. So this function, if I use properly, as you can see, the spaces in front of it and the end went away. Now our hello world is more compact. If you just want to trim the spaces on the left or on the right, that's also possible. There's no need to rewrite the entire thing, and you can just add one side. Let's do left first. As you can see, spaces on the left are trimmed, but the spaces on the right are still there. And we can do the same thing, but instead, if you put right here, you see the spaces on the left are there, spaces on the right are gone. Or we can use the string squish function to get rid of any extra spaces from this HWs. As you can see, string squish also got rid of the spaces in the middle between two words. If trimming white spaces aren't your thing, there's another function for modifying character vectors, string pad. We will let's use the trimmed version of Matrep. I guess I stayed at home for a long while. I'm on a trip. And after we trim it, let's create a string with a width of 20 characters, and to the side left we can add with pad argument. What should we add? Like zeros, maybe? Here is how you use it. As you can see here, we created a string with 20 characters, and that added enough zeros to the left to make it 20 characters. Sometimes a little modification to change the capitalization might be needed when you're cleaning data. I find to upper and to lower functions useful for this purpose. For example, as you all can see, our text has a capitalized H and a capitalized W. To make all uppercase, you use the function toUpper. Here, hello world, all uppercase. On the other hand, if you want to make it all lowercase, toLower function can be very helpful. As you can see, all lowercase. That's all for text modification.